Hi guys, Miss Bump here. I know I'm not in class today, but that doesn't mean that I can't be with you. So let's talk about visual arguments for a minute. First of all, the word argument, what does that mean? That means that you're going to defend something in some way, or you're going to try to persuade someone in some way. And you can do that with your words, but you can also do that via a picture. And we're going to talk about that today. All right, let's get started. Photographs. Let's talk about photography, guys, just for a second. Most of us just look at pictures and we kind of just go, oh, wow, that's cool, that's pretty. Ooh, I like the way this is posed on here. I like the use of this color and things like that. But do we really think what's going on in a photograph beyond just the visual aspect? Because if you really consider it and look at a picture from every angle possible, you'll realize that there is a connotation behind that picture. Be it positive or negative, it definitely exists. Let's dive into it further. Why does visual literacy matter? I mean, who cares? Why do we care what is happening behind the scenes, so to speak? Because visual images are nonverbal, they can say many things without actually saying anything. For example, look at this Diet Coke can. If you're looking at the front part of it, you see, wow, it's Diet Coke. Okay, I recognize the colors, I recognize the text, the font, and so forth. But if you take a closer look, you can see that it almost has an angelic, omnipresent purpose behind it when you're seeing the couple, and they're sort of engaged in an embrace, and they look very angelic. There's many things that we can say about this picture behind the actual logo of Diet Coke. I'm going to teach you guys how to analyze a visual argument. As you know, analysis is one of our college readiness skills, and we always have to be ready to go ahead and dive in and do analysis no matter what we're looking at. For example, take this ad. We're going to go ahead and break it down. We're going to answer all the bulleted questions, and we're going to have a better understanding of what's going on visually so that we can determine how we feel about this ad and what it makes us think. Diving further into analysis of visual text, you really have to consider all areas of the text, not just the face value. We have to consider what's in the foreground, what's in or out of focus, and why things are placed on the text or the visual, what color schemes they use, what kind of effect this has, just basically by looking at it, what our feelings are, whether they use the idea of ethos, logos, or pathos. So we're going to start doing that with a few ads. Let's go and have fun. When visualizing text and analyzing text, you never want to stop questioning what's going on, sort of behind the surface, if you will. You want to make sure that you're understanding whether or not there are positive or negative effects, if there's any sort of illusion happening. Do we have our emotions coming forward, and why is this happening? Maybe we also want to look at who actually put the ad out there in the first place. Does that have any effect on the ad? And does that have any questions for you as a reader to consider further? I'd like you to continue to be diligent, please. When you're analyzing ads, you want to make sure that you understand that they may be exaggerating or idealizing or intensifying things throughout the ad. I want you to also pay attention to whether or not something is confusing or ambiguous. Who might the intended audience be? For example, look down at the ad with the baby. We have a lot of things going on there. I'd like you guys to take a couple of minutes to take in both of these ads and consider whether or not things in terms of America's values are clarified, reinforced, or contradicted for you. Go ahead and do that, and then discuss with a partner, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, thanks. Okay, For this one, guys, I want to see you guys face to face, so to speak, and I want to talk about the object strategy. This will help you in realizing what to actually go through, what parts and pieces to go through when you're analyzing any kind of visual ad. First, you want to start with O, the overview. Analyze the whole image as a whole entity and see what you can see. Then you want to take it further and you want to break it down into the parts, which is the P. You want to analyze each part of the argument, each part of the image. You can section it off however you would like, but take it apart. And then you want to look at any text, which is the T. Is there any text going on in the ad? If so, what is it saying? The interrelationship of the whole, which is the I, is super important because you want to see how the whole fits with the parts and how they work together. And then, of course, lastly, you want to look at your conclusion. Can you make a conclusion about this intended argument, purpose, and or audience? Please confer with your partner. Thank you. Hi guys, since you just learned about the optic strategy, we're going to put it into place. Please go ahead and look at the ad on this slide. Take it in for a minute. Now I want you to consider all the things you learned about the optic strategy and color and design and persuasiveness, and I want you to jot down what comes to mind in terms of emotions, if anything is evoked by looking at this ad, and then I would like you to briefly do the optic strategy, and you'll go into more detail later with your partner. Okay, good luck. This is the fun part, guys. Now you get to create your own visual argument. I'm going to put you into groups of 4, and you're going to create a visual argument using the optic strategy as your guide. Your ad that you design should be based on a specific product, slogan, or message, and you want a specific audience in mind, like who are you going to try to reach? What kind of emotions are you going to try to evoke? In which way are you going to persuade them? What colors will you use? What, if any, designs or actions will you take on your slide to make it more realistic? Please be creative and have fun, and be sure to upload it to our Google Classroom page when you're done. Good luck, guys. Thanks.